We have a Blue Beetle movie coming out this week, which I'm very excited to see. And in honor of that, I'm going to give you a review of a Blue Beetle custom action figure. Of course, this is not the Jaime Reyes version that we're going to see this week in the movie, but this goes back to Justice League International. And for those of you in the Superpowers communities on Facebook, many of you have seen RB Customs' new version of Blue Beetle, and the second I saw it, I knew I had to get it. It combines the incredible detail that you love from Rowan Bella and puts it in, gives it kind of a Kevin McGuire sense from Justice League International back in the day. I love this figure, absolutely love it. And you know, the many figures that I have had Rowan make so far, I think this is the first one that's been built entirely from another figure. You know, we weren't using Batman to make Batman or Green Arrow to make Green Arrow. This was actually completely repurposed from the ground up to make this figure. So some of the things to point out, I believe this was a Toy Biz Riddler figure back in the day. So it makes a pretty good base for an action figure. And he's completely rebuilt that, given it a head sculpt that is incredible, given it a holster, given it the weapon, which I'll show you in a minute, changed the stance. I believe the arms are changed a bit, and again, completely resculpted the head from scratch, including these goggles, which are incredibly difficult to make. I'm going to pull up here to the camera just so you can see it. You can actually see there are pupils on the lenses, on the inside of the lenses, and apparently how he has to make those is he has to put the pupils, paint the pupils onto the back of the lenses before actually placing the lenses over the eyes, which is incredibly hard to do. And, you know, always thinking about the execution of this figure, I wondered how I was ever going to get one that had the lenses intact on the face. And Rowan Bella did it, absolutely nailed it in this version. Love what he's done here. So again, you can see perfect Blue Beetle detailing on the front. You can see wonderful detailing on the back, same thing. You know, Rowan's choice of color selection is always amazing. He mutes the color palette, you know, gives us the matte finish so that you can really see the muscle tone and the detail come out. And if you look at the face, of course, he's got the smirk. You know, you see the smirk from Gardner, you see it from Beetle on the verge of laughter, you'll see it from Booster Gold, who I'll hopefully get very soon from him, and from Rowan. And that sort of Kevin McGuire-esque look on Blue Beetle that was so prominent in Justice League International back in 1987. That was an exciting time for us who were fans of comics back in the days. Blue Beetle, you know, had kind of started to make a few more key appearances in DC. And so Ted Kord was absolutely one cool character. And with him, you know, one thing that became very prominent, particularly in the comics, was the Bug. And I think many of you know that for the Blue Beetle movie, we had the Bug come out this week from Cinemark, and it is a popcorn tin. I'm not going to go through a full detail on this, just to give you kind of a sense of the scale of how the Bug fits next to Blue Beetle. Again, it's underscaled, and you know, it still kind of fits in. Superpowers line has some underscaled vehicles in it. As we know, the Invisible Jet that we'll talk about in another review, that's a bit underscaled. The Batwing's a bit underscaled, and you know, so in that sense it kind of fits. But if you're like me, one day you'd love to get your hands on a Blue Beetle Bug that could fit not just Beetle, not just Booster, but several members of the Justice League International. That would be amazing to be able to get something like that, either from McFarlane or from customizers in the group. But for now, I'll kind of enjoy it with Beetle just standing close to it, you know, fairly in the lower end of the scale, but still kind of works. Let me give you a quick sense of how this works. Now, I tried to fit Rowan in the Bug, or not Rowan, excuse me. I tried to fit Beetle in the Bug last week, and might done a little bit of put a little bit too much pressure on his holster here, so might have to do a little bit of touch up at some point. But you get this Blue Beetle weapon. Oops, couldn't make it fit. Customized by Rowan, by RB Customs, and you know, Blue Beetle's gun, prominent at first. I think it was used in his comic. You didn't see it a lot in Justice League International, but really cool accessory, and again, kind of fits perfectly into his side holster here. A custom-made side holster just for this figure. So if you're a JLI fan, you've always wanted to get your hands on Blue Beetle, reach out to RB Customs. You can find them on Facebook at RB Customs. Rowan Bella's work is unbelievable. You've seen several of the new sculpts. The Beetle one and the Booster Gold are almost perfect in how they capture the likeness of that great 80s JLI era. So feel free to reach out to him to see if you can get your own. And feel free to leave your comments below, and please subscribe.